every day we be grinding. And if you ask me, we the best, I'ma be like, yo, that's us with the crazy flow. And you gon' hear us on the radio. This is how we do every day we be grinding. And if you wanna come and test us, I'ma be like, yo, that's us with the crazy flow. And you gon' hear us on the radio when I'm spitting all these rhymes.
What's going on, fellas? This is volume 13, part 2, 4-minute offensive style. This is your boy, Coach KK. We call this scheme right here the 10-yard fight. This is featuring the Baltimore Ravens playbook. So this is the 10-yard fight, read option Ravens pistol scheme. All right, so here's the audibles right here. I usually will update the audibles in the beginning of each video. As you can see, I once had triple option. Raven read option is supposed to be right there. So I always let you guys know if any updates changes. So don't pay attention to the audibles that's on the field while we're playing. Those were older videos, but the core principles always stays the same. So that's just one adjustment if you're trying to really 100% carbon copy what I do on the field. So here we go. You have to watch the previous video, which is part 1, to understand what's going on. These are the audibles. They were already heavily explained in the previous video. So if you missed out, go back and check that out. Right here, we're in the workshop now. Classroom is over with. Let's begin. In this episode, we're going to go over like the first 3 games that I've used this scheme with. And ironically, the first 2 games I'm playing against the Baltimore Ravens and I'm using their playbook. So I don't know. And this is regular exhibition. I don't know my opponent. This is all first impression. So yeah, I went out in the lab and started doing some research and, you know, mixing chemicals together and trying to get a nice little balanced equation. So here we go. The goal of this 10-yard fight is to attack open space and to manipulate certain defenders. You also want to make sure you check the gap assignments, look at the hack count, and, you know, in the run scheme, and you want to stay ahead of the chains. That is critical right here. And look for automatic alert routes like the previous play we just showed. So here we go right here. As you can see, that was a straight shot to the sideline, power option. Power option is one of the main details of this scheme, you know, because this is a read option pistol scheme. So speed option and power option is always in the number. You know, they always count because you just never know when you have to take that escape route. Here we go right here. This is level sales pretty much, guys. If you're a long time follower and you like the user pick videos, I always talk about how the easiest interceptions are caught when you're playing against level sales because it's just so obvious. He don't know I'm doing that same concept from level sales to the corner and that underneath flat route because I'm in like a running formation. I'm in the 21 personnel versus being in the 3x1 trips shotgun set. You understand? So that means the user wouldn't be lurking in that space over there. He'd be trying to worry about like the handoffs and the run and those slant receivers, you know, those slanted receivers. Look at that play action fake. Beautiful. I mean, he really put it in his gut. And see, that's another part of this play. It's tagged along with a play action fake. And you don't want to do play action fakes from this scheme every single down. See, that's PA power O. It's the same as level sales. That same concept you guys use to go to that corner. And this is a play that you're going to see quite often. So be ready for that. Second game, Baltimore Ravens again. You know, I'm like, wow, I'm using their playbook and I'm going against them. And you can see these guys are senseless. They don't have no scheme, no type of decorum to themselves. They just out there shooting aimlessly. And as you can see, we got core principles. Here's a concept I want to talk about. You've never heard this nowhere before. This is something I created. Overload the formation, but unload the play the other way. And what that means is, you're going to see this again. We're overloading. As you can see, we made that guy shift all his guys to the left side because it looked like I'm running like a simple dive to the left, but I unloaded the other way. So you overload the formation, unload the other way after the play, you know. And let's say number 31 wasn't in the backfield. This would be just a simple shotgun looking like an inside zone, right? And he would have never shifted his line left. He would have shifted his line right. So if you overload one way, you get to unload the other way from these pistol schemes right here. So you're going to see that a lot. Some of these sets are heavily favored to some sides of the ball or the field, so don't look too predictable. You know, like um, when we run that stretch dragon, you'll see that again too. We ran it already, but you'll see it. And yeah, I won this game in overtime, so yeah, let's get that right. So yeah, that was the second game I played, and this is the third game. And those first two games, I didn't really have a scheme set up. I was just throwing some stuff out there and, just trying to see what's what. And we knew we had to put triple option in this scheme once we got rolling. So this is pretty much like the first real game that I played every single drive with of the scheme. And see, as you can see right here, I overloaded the formation that way, but I didn't unload the other way. See how he's shifting his line? He's trying to match up and get even with what I'm doing. See, now I unloaded the other way. So yeah, it's some nice little cool concept. You're gonna be playing tick for tack. This is what we call play packaging when everything looks the same. And there's a formation shift. I saw an area right here that we want to attack. And so we just did a quick formation shift from the weak to the strong. Nice. But not nice. So with that PA boot LT, that rollout, you're going to have to come out of that play action fake earlier on a lot of those downs in order to get you a nice throw. Because for one, your feet have to be set. You have to make sure you avoid getting caught up by that contain man. And like when certain sides of the fields are open, they're just open. And you got to make sure you got to make sure you get a knife safe throw, because I was wide open and I'm still throwing balls out of bounds like that because I didn't get my feet set. For one thing, he's rolling left and he's a righty, so that's something, mechanics that you have to work on. But PA boot LT is a main detail of this scheme. So just like the stretch dragon alert, the stretch alert dragon that you see right there in audibles, it's a main play. So here we go again. Pre-snap, as you can see, the right side is sealed off. That's what we want. That's ideally, it's sealed off and we're ready. We have a power option. Boom, nice. If he would have got that block, we'd have been going for 6 probably. Who knows? And you just ride it to the sideline until you can't no more and then pitch it back. Make sure you get in the lab. If you're new to this power option stuff, get in the lab and make sure you understand the distance between your running back and your quarterback for the laterals. Because if it's not good distance and the play is pretty much over, it's time to hit the field, your quarterback is going to literally just lateral it to anybody. So you have to be in a certain type of range with that running back. And that when that play is going on, if you're new to the power option stuff, try some little stuff called a jet touch pass. Now we know about jet touch pass from the spread playbook, from the spread formations. We used to do that all the time. We get the defensive line to crash in and we spread out, but I couldn't do a jet then because he was in like a 4-3 base defense and it's too many linebackers. He got too much meat on the bone in the box. Beautiful. Let's talk about that. This is the stretch alert dragon. I'm able to run this ball or throw it. Now, they're playing off coverage on the left side, so I'm already thinking I can go to my slot receiver like a quick bubble screen, right? But I'm indicating that it's man coverage. And what they're going to do is crisscross and try to get the two DBs to run into each other. This is not a glitch. This happens in real life. It's like a pick. And if they run into each other, sometimes you can be gone. I mean, long gone too. They're not in zone. They're in man. And the only reason why I even looked that way and chose this play is because they were playing off coverage to the left. So you're going to see that a lot too. When you stick to your core principles, they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be all over the place. Your play calling pattern should be like a waffle and the syrup is just filling in the little square slots. And when you like that and you're just constantly hitting first down, you're scoring points. Their play calling strategy is going to be tangled up like spaghetti strings. They're going to be all over the place. So you're going to see that a lot too. So here we go. Attacking the gaps. We talked about the A gap, the B gap, and C gap in the previous video. Now it's time to put it on display. We're looking for open areas and certain defenders that we can manipulate. Like right here, this is an automatic route. We talked about the flat route. So I have 2 running backs in the backfield. That flat route looks wide open. Look at R1. I mean, every time. And this is a 10-yard fight. So we want to get 3 yards. We want to get 4 yards. We're not looking for 12 and 15 and 30 yards every single time. As long as we can keep moving the chains. consistently getting first downs. Checking the hat count. Look at the hat count. If you take an imaginary line where the center is and look to the left, everyone is one-on-one matched up. And by the time I get to the second level of defense, that's when I have to make contact with someone. You understand? So this is like basic stuff, running, like zone running. This is a 10-yard fight. So everyone is matched up, and I'm at the second level of the defense by the time I'm in contact with someone, and I got around him. He took a poor angle. He never clicked on the man, so that's how I was able to get around him and stuff, and just using that blazing speed with Raheem Morse. So nice execution. Nice way to see the hat for hat. Like, that's the first read you should do when you come to the line of scrimmage. Look at the hat count. Look at the gaps. Then look at the open space. Then start looking at the leverage of the cornerbacks and the DBs. And that'll give you like all that's processing through your mind. Instead of just randomly just calling plays, you have a system, a scheme. So that's what we got going on right here. Like, look at the gaps. Look at the A gap and B gap. It's wide open. But I decided to want to pass. I see a cover 2, so let's try to split the cover 2 with the X post. And that's my first choice, but second choice was the tight end going across the middle, because I like to give myself a 3-step drop back. 1001, 1002, 1003. And it's time to go to another progression by the time that happens. So, yeah, I wasn't able to split, and then it looked like cover 2, but it was man. So, yeah, luckily I had that other guy, my second read was coming across. So that's how that worked. It was just that wasn't in the audibles. That's just the play we threw out there, just to try to rough the feathers up, just to throw a little something out there to see what we're working with. Here we go with a comeback route. He did pretty good by containing and stalling me. I think the cornerbacks did pretty good. He was playing some variation of zone and man, so I couldn't get the gap that I wanted. So I'm coming back at him again. I lined up on the other side of the field this time just to come back to it to see what he come back to what he's done. And now here we go again, flood concept. So we got the automatic route underneath and got the comeback route. This time it was different this time because first of all, he's giving us space. He's giving us space, and then it's man to man on the outside. So you win this every down. Once you learn how to get this, once you get the timing of this route and you start throwing an anticipatory throw, where you throw this ball before anybody even turn around, like the ball gone, the cornerback is still hanging out there. I've been talking about that all season since we had next gen. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring over to this scheme right here. He's blitzing heavy. He's containing. He think he's slick trying to play the outside because we're doing pistol stuff. So I'm just going to target from where he's coming from. Screen pass. So yeah, that's something else to put in your notes. Anytime they're blitzing or coming in heavy, you want to kind of attack the area from where the blitz is coming from. And that'll help you fill in that space, So yeah, screens. I didn't mention screens in the last video, but that counts too. But a lot of attention will be on the running back. So that's why screens wouldn't be real heavily used in this scheme because the focus is on the backfield anyway. Here we go. I thought the tight end, this is a bad play right here. I deserved to throw a pick. That was a very bad play. My mechanics was poor. No, look at the footwork. I'm throwing off my back foot. That was very poor. It was a late pass and all. I just thought it was a nice little seam cover 2 splitter, but I threw the ball too late. So let's get back to the meat and potatoes. Here we go, isolating the field. All the spaces to the right side. I'm just going through my system, my play call sheet, just trying to see what we need out here. Now you see the B gap is wide open. I only move one man across the field. He think it's just a simple motion. The B gap is wide open. In fact, he opened it even more. So we audible to the F lead read with the quarterback. And I saw that from the jump. I just wasn't in that formation though. So I was trying to make sure he don't close this gap when I move this man in motion. And he opened it even more for some reason. And I'm just reading the read, man. These read options, you got to read the pitch, man. Then you read the penetrator. And then you read the looper, man. I called it the scrape exchange, man. Because sometimes it's not going to be just one man to read. It's going to be 2 men on this side to read. So if it look right, you go along with it. If not, you have other audibles to go the other way. That's why in one set we have a triple option and a triple option switch. And we have this F lead read. So those are three options in one set, and we can go all sorts of ways, and it all depends on. Let's look at it from this angle. That was beautiful right there. We're just reading the read man. There's no pitch man because I'm not doing triple option. So we're reading the read man, and then we're trying to see if anybody's scraping over the top to clean him up. And if I was defending the read option, I was defending this scheme right here, I would let them hand the ball off, and I'd just be watching the quarterback every time. I would let them hand the ball off. Yeah, because the quarterback is not going to run this far on me. So, yeah, man. That's that. Here we go. He's stacking the left. Stacking left. He done seen so many of these tricky formations. He's stacking left, and this is just a free outlet to the outside. Power option. Beautiful. We just rode the sideline till we couldn't ride it no more, and then we pitched it on out. You can also playmaker the power option. Listen, power option is, I don't see nobody running stuff like that, man. So, yeah, as you can see, that the sideline is going to be dead wide open sometime. The middle is going to be dead wide open sometime. All you got to do is stick to the basics. Stick to your core principles. And the core principles of this is to attack the open space and gaps. You're not going to get, the heavy home runs all the time. And see, that's what he's trying to do now. He's trying to be in cover two. You're going to get a lot of cover two also. They go to space on the left side. You're going to get a lot of cover two in this because it's a 21 type of personnel. So this throw right here, it was simple. Boom, shakalaka. It's a cover two type of look. They're going to be in cover two so much because they feel like everything is taken care of. I don't have all the slot receivers and stuff out here. It's not spaced out. So they figure because on the play art, it looks like cover two is just colored and the whole field is just covered. But that's not the truth. I'm going to show you something. When you look at the play art for what it is, the players don't have enough time to get from their initial point all the way to where they're going. So you can kind of hang in the passing windows and steal that space. You're pretty much stealing. You're just taking what was vacant. This reminds me of Georgia Tech type of offense. I used to love Georgia Tech old offense. See, you don't have the time and space. You just got to hang in the windows. You got to hang in there. And the ball will get over there. It'll get there before that man gets there if he's not there already, But yeah, this reminds me of Georgia Tech. We're not trying to hit home runs every down. We're just trying to jab, jab, cross, jab, jab, hook until we can go for that final haymaker, and the haymaker is coming eventually. The haymaker gonna come on times when you don't even think you're gonna score. You're just trying to get free yardage. Here you go, trying to manipulate the defensive line. All right, y'all, this is Coach KK. This thing went by so fast. I did not get all the information I wanted to you guys. So stay tuned for volume 13, part 3. This is Coach KK. I'm out, yo.
This is how we do it every day. We be grinding, and if you ask me, we the best. I'ma be like, yo, that's us with the crazy flow. And you gon' hear